Okay, hi, and welcome to lesson 1.3. Today we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing integers. So the cool thing about this lesson is that you already know how to multiply and divide. Now we just got to think about the signs. Okay, the signs are going to be different depending on what they are in the problem. So you kind of started touching on this at the end of last year, and you will be using it the rest of this year. So let's just figure it out. Okay, so the good news, other good news, lots of good news. The good news is that the rules are the same if you're whether you're multiplying or dividing. Okay, so anytime you multiply or divide two positives, you make a positive. Anytime you multiply or divide two negatives, you also make a positive. Okay, now it's kind of cool because the two signs come together. You need two of the same thing to make it a positive, right? So think about this, you're trying to get out of jail, right? These, this is a good analogy. These two plus signs are trying to get out of jail. So they walk over to the wall. One plus sign gives the other plus sign a boost, and he gets out, and one plus sign gets out of there. That's a good situation, right? Now let's think about the two negatives are trying to get out of jail. Hey, let me help you get out. All right, cool. And one climbs on the other guy's knee and gets out, and yay, it's a good situation. So that's one way to think about it. Okay, I just made that up, so I hope it makes sense. Okay, now when you have a positive and a negative, these guys don't work well together. Okay, the positive can't figure out how to boost up the negative, and the negative is in a bad mood. So what ends up happening is they don't get out. So it's a sad story. So a negative times a positive, or a positive times a negative, ends up with a bad situation. They don't get out. Okay, cool. That's it. That's the rules. Now, later on, we're going to look at what do you do if there's more numbers, like let's say there's 3 or 4 or 5 numbers. What are the signs? But that's later. Okay, cool. So the rest of these problems you probably know because you know your multiplication facts and your division facts. If you don't, just do them off to the side and let me know if you need some websites to practice that because we want them to be quick. Okay, and I found some cool websites with some fun games that you can just remind yourself of the rules. Okay. Cool. So let's do a few. We're going to do these. I didn't realize I was highlighting. Okay, we're going to do those that I highlighted. Right here, -2 times -7. Signs are both negative. A negative times a negative makes a positive. 2 times 7 is 14. The answer is positive 14. Cool. 3 times 8, 24. And one of them's negative. So the answer is negative 24. 5 times 2, the answer is 10. A negative times a negative is a positive. So the answer is positive 10. And then I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but this teeny weeny little dot right there means multiply. Okay, so that's 12 times -4. 12 times 4 is 48. 4 is negative, so the answer is negative 48. Whoop, whoop. All right, cool. Let's move on to division. So the rules are the same. A positive, we're going to do these right here. A positive divided by a positive is a positive. 44 divided by 4 is 11. -12 divided by -2 is a positive 6. Cool trick on number 13. If you're dividing numbers that both end in 0, you can cancel out a 0. That's basically like reducing it by 10. A positive divided by a positive is a positive. 12 divided by 1 is 12. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 16 divided by 8 is 2. So the answer is -2. And -21 divided by 7 is -3. Okay, cool. I think you get the idea, but we want to cement this. So take a second, and I want you to do the evens. Okay, so take a minute to do the evens. You might have to think a little bit about 14's got kind of bigger numbers. So you might have to do long division on that, but that's okay. I think you can do it. Okay, cool. So hit pause and then come right back. Okay, welcome back. Here are the answers. Positive 30, -4, positive 45, positive 32. How'd you do? All right. A cool trick on number 10 is how many times does 6 go into 18? 3. And there's a 0 on the end, so the answer is 30. And it's positive 30 because they're both negative. We got -8. We got -36. We got -9. And we got -19. Okay, so hit pause and get help if that doesn't make sense. Okay, now we're going to translate some word problems. Okay, so what are some words that mean multiplication? And you know what? These aren't going to translate directly. So we got to kind of read into the problem and ask ourselves, are we multiplying that thing or are we dividing that thing? Okay, so let's think about number 19. Nina. Oh no, I don't trust Nina. Remember last time? She spent way too much money, and she's spending too much money this time too. We need an intervention with Nina, okay? She made 8 withdrawals from her bank account. Each withdrawal was for $20. What was the total change in her bank account? So a withdrawal is negative. So she pulled out negative $20 8 times. So we're going to multiply that by 8. I'm worried about Nina. Okay, again, don't be Nina, okay, in this problem. Okay, 8 times 20 is 160. A negative times a positive is a negative. And Nina is in the hole $160. Okay. Okay. Number 20. The Tigers, a high school football team, lost 3 yards on their last 3 plays. Well, they're consistent. What was their total change in yards? Well, they lost 9 yards. Okay, cool. These are like sad stories because everybody's losing or spending or something crazy. Okay, we are going to skip to the last 2 problems on here because the second half is division. Okay, now when you do these on the homework, you're just going to have to read them and be like, is this division? Am I splitting it up or am I multiplying and making it bigger? Okay. So number 27, the amount of water in a lake decreased by 12.8 feet over the last 4 weeks. How much did the water level change by each week? Well, it decreased, so it's negative 12.8, and they want to know each week, so that means we have to divide it by 4 since there were 4 weeks. Okay, so I know my answer is negative because there's only one negative sign. 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 8 2 times. So it was negative 3.2 feet per week. Dang, that's a lot. It must be really hot. Okay, and it's all evaporating. Oh, you know what I should add? I should add per week. Okay, let's make that a better answer. Per week. Okay, I went into the other box, but that's okay. Okay, another sad story. The beach is eroding. I gotta write to the curriculum person and tell them they gotta have more uplifting stories. Maybe someone's like losing weight or something. That's a good thing, as long as they want to. Okay, due to erosion, a beach is disappearing at a rate of 5 feet per year. How long will it take the beach to lose 85 feet? Okay, so they wanna lose 85 feet, and we're losing negative 5 feet per year. Now, the answer has to be positive because we can't have negative years, okay? Time can be negative in some senses, but we're not in the DeLorean or anything. We're not going back in time. So we're talking about going forward, and forward is positive. So you might ask yourself, okay, what's 85 divided by 5? I don't know. So let's do long division. So 5 goes into 85. 5 goes into 8 once with 5 left over, or with 3 left over. And then bring down the 5. There's our 5. And 5 goes into 35 7 times. So it will take 17 years for the beach to lose 85 feet. Okay. That's a long time, which is good. And the chances of it eroding at the same rate every year are very slim, I'm sure. But that is what a lot of scientists do, is study things like that. And that's why they're talking about icebergs melting and things like that. This is like the same math that they do. A little bit more complicated, but you get the point. Okay, cool. So you guys are going to try 3 problems on your own. They're all the same. They're not like green or blue this time. So just try all 3 and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so you're going to do 21. I think a lot of people can relate to that one because it's skiing. We have a lot of skiers. And then 25. And then 26. Okay, so see if it's multiplication or division. Figure out your signs. Come up with the answer. Label your units. Okay. There, now you won't forget. Okay, hit pause and then come right back. All right, welcome back. Here are the answers that I got. So I had to multiply negative 14 times 8. And notice off to the side, I had to figure out what that was. Totally fine if you don't know that, just do the math. And the skier went down 112 feet after 8 seconds. Okay. Number 25, they split the bill. So I underline that because you're dividing by 8. So it's $8 per person. And then the well, they're going to dig that well in 12 minutes and they're digging. So it's going down, and a negative 120 divided by 12 is negative 10 feet per minute. Okay, cool. All right. So check the practice. Let me know if you have questions, and you're going to do great. Okay, see you next time.